Hello everyone, and welcome to week 3 of my weekly wellbeing for the 21st of January and the week that follows. So, it's weekly wellbeing for the 21st of January 2021. So, what will we do this week? Well, we can continue with our visualization that we do every single week. I have a different one this week for you. Then we've got the spinner activity that I want to do with you that asks various questions, see which ones we actually end up with. Then I have some colouring for you, some mindfulness colouring in the form of a mandala and a bookmark. So you have a choice. You can do both or you can do either. It's your choice. Then I have an activity called 20 Faces, which is all about your feelings and your emotions. Then I've got my little book of friends, which is a little activity you can print off if you want to do at home, which is all about the importance of having friends in our lives because we may be missing them all. And then I've got a think about activity where I'm going to ask you to think of something, then try and forget it and give you an activity, some different techniques you can use to try and think of instead, to try and get things out of your head that you don't want to hear. So here we go. First one we're going to do is a visualization. Now, as I've said the last 2 weeks, a visualization is something you try and think of in your head. It's like a daydream where you try and imagine what you can see, smell, hear, feel, and all those things, taste, in the place that the picture is trying to refer to. It may bring back memories. It may be you've never seen this kind of thing before, but you've got to try and think about what does it make you feel like and why. So let's start. This week, my picture is of a roller coaster. I don't know if you've been on a roller coaster before. You might have been to theme parks. You might have seen some on the television. There are lots of YouTube videos out there where you feel like you're actually on the roller coaster. So today, this picture is a roller coaster. What is happening in this picture? Try and think about what do we think could be happening. I can see it's quite high up. It's a roller coaster. Perhaps there's a loop, the loop in the future just off the picture. You never know, but they're coming down, and that brings us on to what can you see, hear, feel, touch, or taste if you was here? I think if I was there, I'd be able to hear people screaming and crying out and shouting. They'd be laughing. They'd be gasping. They'd be shrieking. I think it would probably sound like a really happy place. I'd be able to hear all those things around me. I'd be able to see, depends on where you're sitting, I see people in front of you, or if you're right at the front. You'd be able to see the drop for everybody else. You'd be able to see the whole park, maybe. What else is in this fair amusement park? What could be there? Can you see teacups? Can you see other roller coasters? Can you see carousels? What can you see? What can you feel? Well, I'd be able to feel the bar in front of me. I'd be able to feel the wind rushing at me as I go up and down. What else would you feel? What would you feel inside? Would you feel? Try and think. What could you touch? The same thing. You could touch the bar. You could touch somebody next to you with your arm. What can you taste? If you're here, maybe you've had some donuts. Or perhaps you've had some candy floss. You don't know. Perhaps your hamburgers or hot dogs. What can you taste? What can you smell? Can you smell those vendors all around the park? Don't know. What emotion does it make you feel? Now, I don't mind roller coasters, but I don't like ones that do loop the loops. So it might make me feel a bit sick and queasy. I don't know about you. You might love them. It might make you feel excited or happy. It might make you feel sad because you've never been on one. What emotion does it make you feel? And why does it make you feel that way? Try and think of why you feel that. Okay? So I'll give you some time to think about that. Why don't you pause me and think about all of these questions and talk about it with someone else? Okay, thank you for coming back to me. Now we're going to go on to the second activity, which is a spinner. Now, in this activity, I'm going to ask you some questions. I don't know what questions they're going to be. It's up to fate. Let's see what we end up with. So, the questions we've got on here, as you can see, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 different questions. Who knows what's going to end up with? Let's try. So, what's one thing you want to get better at next year? I would love to get better, as I said before, at playing music. Perhaps you'd like to get better at reading or maths. Perhaps you want to get better at running or another kind of sport. Your goal could be anything. Perhaps you want to get better at cooking, or perhaps you'd like to garden or make a birdhouse. What's something you'd love to get better at next year? Next question. What's one personal quality you want to develop this year? Can you talk to somebody and try and say what you'd like to develop? I think I'd like to become more brave. I don't think I'm a very brave person. So I'd love to be able to become more brave and just be more decisive and go for things. I'd love to do that. As a personal quality I'd like to develop this year. What would you like to develop in the coming months? Let's do one more together. What's my resolution for this year? Ooh, I think my resolution this year is going to be to read more books. I don't think I read enough last year because I was so busy with doing lots of other stuff. They all just kind of like flew away from me. So I think this year I'd like to read more books. I've joined a book club and I plan to read lots and lots of books this year and to talk about them. Now, it's up to you. If you want to pause this video here, you can pause it and then you can answer some of the other questions that are on this sheet, like one thing you were grateful for last year, or what was your happiest memory last year? Perhaps you'd like to say one word to describe last year. Okay, so you have 10 questions there. If you want to answer them all, then you can do that. Okay, but let's get on to the third activity. So our third activity is a bit of mindful colouring, because it's always good to just forget yourself sometimes and just colour away. So I've got 2 options for your colouring that you can actually download from the worksheets that I have next to this video. And it's a mandala and a bookmark. Now this is our mandala. If you draw yourself in the centre of the mandala, can you write a wish or a dream in each of the petals for me? And then you can just colour in your mandala and make it as bright and as beautiful and as lively as yourselves. Okay, so that's my first option. You can do some mandala wishes. Or our second option for colouring this week is 2 types of bookmarks. And they give you a clue. It says take a mindful minute. So it says if you feel anxious or angry or sad or worried, then you can take 1 minute to focus on your senses. And you can do that by doing 5 things you can see, 4 things you can hear, 3 things you can feel, 2 things you can smell, and 1 thing you can taste. So we have 2 different choices here. We have a bee with a hedgehog, or we have the lovely relaxing little emoticon kind of person. So you can do either of those and colour them in, then you can fold them in half and use them as a bookmark. Maybe you can put a ribbon in the top if you punch a hole. So that's our third activity for this week. Our fourth activity is 20 faces. Now this is all going to be about emotions and feelings and trying to identify them. And I've got another activity right at the end for you and a little challenge. So let's start with this. So, what are feelings and emotions? Everyone has feelings, and our feelings change constantly throughout each day as different things happen to us. Sometimes we feel sad, some maybe someone we love moved away. Sometimes we feel worried, like it's the spelling test you haven't studied for. We can feel angry, we can feel happy, we can feel excited, we can feel a whole range of other emotions and feelings. Can you help me to identify some of them? So, can you guess this feeling? What is it? Think about it. It is happy. Okay, what might have made them feel this way? What makes you feel happy? Because he certainly does look like he's enjoying himself in this picture. So, what do we think? What could have made him feel that way? Okay, let's go on to the next emotion. Can you guess this feeling? How is this person looking? Their eyebrows are scrunched, they're gritting their teeth. How do we think he's feeling? He's feeling angry. Did you guess that? Yes, I bet you did. So, if you're feeling angry, what might have made him feel this way? What makes you feel angry? What kind of things? Do you feel angry if somebody bumps into you by accident? Do you feel angry if somebody says no to you? What makes you feel angry? Pause and think about it. Talk for a bit. Okay, then our third emotion is this one. She's like, what do you think that face is? Did you guess that it was frightened? Yes. So, what frightens you? Can you discuss with a friend or family member? I am frightened of spiders. I absolutely petrified of them. If I see a spider, I have to run away or I freeze. Then I have to call somebody to go and get it because I am so scared of them. It's the way they move. Everybody's frightened of something. What about this one? What is this person feeling? I think they could be upset. Yes. What makes you feel upset? Perhaps you're feeling more upset now than you normally would because of the situation we're all in. Well, whatever is making you feel upset, perhaps you can discuss it with someone. How about this person? They're hiding themselves with their hair. They've got red cheeks. What do you think that means? It means they are embarrassed. I'm sure we've all felt embarrassed at some time. I felt embarrassed when I used to have to do school plays or I'd have to read out something to the class when I was younger. Can you think of an embarrassing situation that's happened to you? Okay, can you guess this feeling? This is something I think we've all been feeling a little bit of lately because of having to stay indoors. This little boy is feeling annoyed, or cross, or frustrated. It means you're getting quite bothered by something. What things really annoy you? And perhaps it's a dripping of a tap. I hate tap stripping. It really annoys me. What annoys you? And what is this girl feeling? Her face is quite similar to the annoyed, but it's something different. What do you think it might be? What could she be feeling? It's quite similar looking, but it's not the same. It is grumpy. She's feeling a bit grumpy. Like, don't want to do this. What makes you feel grumpy? Is it having to do too much work? Is it being asked to make your bed? What makes you grumpy? Is it your little brother or sister borrowing your toys? What makes you grumpy? Can you think of something for me? Good job. And what is this feeling? You know, it's a bit of a smug look. The person is feeling proud. They're proud of what they've done. They're like, yeah, I've done that. Whoa, go me. I have knocked that out of the park. They're feeling so proud of themselves. What things have you achieved in your life that make you feel proud? Perhaps you've been able to go up a level in your reading. Perhaps you finally worked out how to do that long division that's always bothered you. Perhaps you've managed to colour in a picture and stay in the lines. There are so many things that can make us feel proud. What is something that makes you feel proud? What have you achieved? Remember, it's okay to feel any of these feelings, and feelings can change throughout the day. So you go from embarrassed to frightened to angry to upset. You can be proud, you can be annoyed, you can be grumpy, you can be happy. But what are some other emotions that we could feel? There are many other emotions and feelings we can feel throughout the day, such as excited, surprised, worried, sad, poorly, hot, it's hot, cold. We can also feel sleepy. What is this person feeling? He's feeling brave. We can feel confused, calm, or even we can feel energetic. We can get up and just want to run around. So this is our activity. Can you fill in my 20 faces and put a different emotion on each face? Once you've done them, perhaps you could show it to a friend or a family member or a parent and see if they can guess what emotions you've drawn on each face. And as a challenge, can you think of any more emotions or feelings that you could put on here that have not been one of the ones I've mentioned yet? It's really difficult. Perhaps you can think of something, and if you can, add it to your face. Let's get on to the next activity then. So, my little book of friends. Well, this is just a little activity because I know that people may be missing their friends and it's not nice to not have your friends around. So perhaps it'd be nice to actually do something for them. So this is an activity and a worksheet you can print off. This is my little book of friends. And then you can put your name on the front and you can write down all the qualities your friends have that makes each of them a good friend. You can draw a picture of you and your friend together and write their name. And then you can say, what do you like to do together? What do you like to do with your friend? And you can think about all those lovely things you like to do with your friends. So there's going to be 2 of these booklets on here that you can print off. But this is just a little show to say what you can do with it. Okay. So the last activity we're going to do is called Think About. Now, with this activity, I'm going to go through 3 activities to help you learn how to rid yourselves of negative thoughts through mindfulness type activities. I will ask you to think of an animal, then to stop thinking of the animal. And this will show you how difficult it is to stop thinking about something just by telling yourself not to think about it. The same is true about negative thoughts. You will then be asked to do a exercise to demonstrate how to rid your thoughts of the animal. And if the animal comes back, you can do the exercise again. So let's go for it. Okay, so think about an iguana. Here he is. He's green. He's scaly. He can change colour. Where does he live? Think about that iguana. Really think about him. There he is. Think about the iguana. Now stop thinking about your iguana. Stop it. Don't think of him anymore. You can't stop, can you? Well, sometimes it can be like that with other thoughts as well. So, when you give something attention in your thoughts, it tends to stick around. But there are things you can do. Let's make the iguana disappear. So try this. Either put on some music or dance in silence. It doesn't matter what it is. Just move your body and dance away. Nobody's watching you, so go mad and move your body in any way you want. Enjoy the freedom of dance. And then he's going, and he's gone. When you do something else or think about something else, those negative or worrying thoughts really do disappear. If he comes back, you know what to do. He's back again. Dance. That's my first animal I've gone through. Now, we're going to do another animal. So, this time, let's think about a unicorn. Here he is, pink, pointy-horned. He looks really cool. Think about that unicorn. Is he magical? Is he sparkling? Is he glittery? Now stop thinking about a unicorn. You can't stop, can you? Well, when you give it attention, just like the iguana, your thoughts tend to stick around, but there are things you can do. So for the iguana and the unicorn, you can do different things. For the iguana, we danced. For the unicorn, we can make him disappear. Now, make up a pattern by patting your body. Pat your heads, shoulders, tummy, hips, knees, toes, then start again. Repeat it several times. You can make your own pattern by patting different parts of your body. Do this slowly, gently, and carefully. And the unicorn will be going, gone. So, when you do something else and you think about something else, the negative thoughts go away and they disappear. So if he comes back, you know what to do. Okay, just pat your body. So let's go comes the third one. Now the third one okay, now let's get on to the third one. This time we're going to think about a penguin. Now, here's our penguin, cute and black and white, and flaps his arms, and he's so lovely. Think about that penguin. Really think of it. Now stop thinking about the penguin. Okay. You can't stop, can you? Now, when we think about this penguin and we give him thoughts, they stick around. And here he is again, loads and loads of times, popping into our head. Penguin, 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 penguin. Let's make that penguin disappear. Let's try this. Think of your happy place. It might be in your cozy bedroom. It might be laid on a beach with the sun beaming down on you. It might be snuggled up with your family watching a movie. Draw your happy place so it helps you visualize it later when you need it. Now then, if we do this, the penguin is going, gone. Okay, and if he comes back, you know what to do. Here he goes. Think. Just imagining my happy place, and he will disappear. So, thank you for joining me today. So thank you for joining me today for my third weekly wellbeing. Hope to see you all again soon. And don't forget to check out the stories that I'll be putting up as well. Bye for now.